Hello guys, how are we all doing? Welcome back to yet another video. Today we are back with the championship predictions and I'm joined by Michael.
Well, I thought I'd come back and teach you all a lesson how to predict predictions.
You think you're going to beat me?
I don't think. I know.
This guy's quite competitive. Make sure you're dropping your predictions down below. Make sure you've liked and subscribed and let's get straight into the midweek fixtures. We've got Birmingham City versus Bristol City. Now both teams won at the weekend. Birmingham City now with back-to-back wins against Swansea and Borough. Bristol City, meanwhile, they beat Barnsley, but everyone's beating Barnsley at the moment. This is a tough one. Bristol City are better on the road, but they have got their first home win now. I just think this is tough. I think Birmingham City strike me as a team that go through good stages and bad stages, and I think they're currently going through a good phase. Back-to-back wins. I think they're going to make it 3 in a row here. Birmingham City 2-0.
Wrong. 0-0.
Why?
Birmingham's such a physical side, aren't they? They like to bully teams and they don't play nice football. They don't. It'll be 0-0. It'll be boring, honestly. Every time I back Birmingham to win, right, it's 0-0. So I'm going to go with my gut there and go 0-0. Watch it be like 6-0 or something.
Yeah. Well, interesting to see how that one plays out.
0-0.
Okay, next game. Coventry City versus Swansea City. This one on the Tuesday, obviously. Swansea, they won 3-0 against Peterborough. We also beat a newly promoted team. We beat Hull City away 1-0. Good result, but the performance wasn't that special. I think we got lucky that we were playing a team like Hull because I think a better team would have taken advantage of us being
100%.
a bit sloppy. But you can only beat what's in front of you, and now we're back at home. Can we get another home win? Obviously, Derby were the first team to not lose at our ground, but I think we're going to go back to winning ways here. Swansea are good, don't get me wrong. I think they're going to turn up and give us a game. But 2-1 to Coventry.
I'm going to go 1-0 City.
Okay.
We're not playing well at the moment, but we seem to be getting the results where we need to. Derby was I thought it was a freak result. They didn't really play well, and it was a soft goal. Other than that, it would have been 7 from 7 at home. So I think we'll win 1-0. I think it'll be close, but they're a better side. They're probably one of the better teams we played at home this season. So I'd say probably 1-0, yeah.
Okay, next up, Luton Town versus Middlesbrough. Luton obviously lost at Preston. Bit surprised by that because I do think Luton will do well this season. Middlesbrough, they obviously lost as well. They lost 2-0 at home to Birmingham like we've just discussed. Both need to get back to winning ways here. Who's going to do it, or will it be a draw? I'm going to go for Luton. I think Luton will edge this one 1-0.
I'm going 1-1.
Okay.
Luton are a good team.
Yeah.
We found that out the hard way. Like, they're a good side, and Borough are awful. I don't think they're a good team, but they know how to play football in the sense of what Warnock wants them to do. So they're efficient, but I think it'll be a close game. I think it'll be 1-1.
Okay, interesting. Next up, Millwall versus Reading. Reading, obviously, they lost at the weekend against Bournemouth. There's no disgrace in that. Everyone's losing to Bournemouth at the moment. Millwall, they're just fairly solid, aren't they? I don't know what to expect from them. I think between mid-table and the playoffs for Millwall this season, and I think I could say the same for Reading, I don't think there's going to be a lot to separate these. So I'm going to go for my first draw here. Millwall 1, Reading 1. I'm
going to go 2-1 Millwall.
Yeah?
They're good at home.
Yeah.
I think they're quite good at home, but Reading are crap. I won't have any. I'm with Cookie on this one. They're just a team that seem to get so far and then just crumble. But yeah, I think 2-1 Millwall. 2-1
Millwall, yeah. Okay. Next up, Forest versus Sheffield United. Don't know what to expect from this one. Sheffield United and Forest both a little bit unpredictable. Forest had been picking up the form and then 2 games without a win now. Let's hope they get back to winning ways for their fans, obviously. But Sheffield United, they had been turning things around and then they just keep losing silly games. They obviously lost at home to Blackpool, which will annoy them. But, yeah, to be fair, Blackpool will come on to them in a bit. As for this one, I think either team could win this. I don't think there'll be a lot to separate them. And I might actually go for another draw here. I think I'm going to go for Forest 1, Sheffield United 1.
I'm going to go 2-0 Forest. Sheffield United dross. I don't think they're a good team at all. I think they'll be below mid-table this season. With the squad they've got players like Sander Burge, they've got John Fleck, they've got good players across the pitch, and they've got Rehab Roots. He's a good player. Like there's no denying that. But yeah, I think Forest will battle. I think 2-0, comfortable.
2-0. Yeah. Interesting, that one. Next up, Peterborough United versus Huddersfield Town. Huddersfield just going under the radar, aren't they? They're just sneaking up on the teams in the top 4, aren't they? Because they're still mixing it in with the playoffs. They're obviously going away to Peterborough, who obviously lost away at Swansea, but I think at home is where Peterborough are strongest. And once again, I could see either of these winning it, and I'm tempted to go for another draw. I just think if this was at Huddersfield, I'd probably back Huddersfield, but I've said before, when Peterborough are at home, I think they're a better team. So Peterborough 2, Huddersfield 2.
I'm going to go 3-1 Peterborough. It's the only over-the-top result I'm going to go with, just because you know yourself, you can't predict this Peterborough team. Like, I thought for 60 minutes against us, they looked reasonably okay. Like, they had some good tricky players, and then the moment they concede one goal, their head goes completely. So if they can get ahead early, I think they'll win the game. I think 3-1. I think but Huddersfield are good, yeah, but they're not good. They're not that great on the road. So I think maybe 3-1 Peterborough.
3-1 Peterborough.
Yeah, why not?
We'll move on to Wednesday. This is a massive game down the bottom end of the table. Barnsley versus Derby County. Now Derby, they lost to Blackburn. And before that, I'd said they've been drawing a lot, which is obviously picking up points. But because they started with a points deduction, they need to get wins, really. And obviously Barnsley are a team that aren't getting wins. They've only won once, and that was against our team, Coventry. And again, they shouldn't have won. So, I don't know. It's a massive 3 points on the line for both teams here. If Barnsley win, it's a step in the right direction. If Derby win, it's obviously a step in the right direction. I think they might cancel each other out. And I'm going to go for a goalless draw here.
I think Derby will win comfortably. Of the two teams that I've seen this season, Barnsley are awful. They're the only team that for me right now are nailed on to be going down.
Okay.
They're the only team. Other than that, Derby are realistic without the points deduction. They'd be mid-table comfortably, wouldn't they? So I think Derby will beat them 3-0.
3-0 to Derby.
They've got to bounce back from a result. You never notice they always seem to bounce back from a bad result. Derby do.
Yeah.
They tend to bounce back quite well, and they give us a good game at the Rico. I'm telling you, they pass the ball around really well. Derby are done. Barnsley are done. They're just such a poor team. Like, they're getting beat by everybody. So I think it'd be quite comfortable for Derby. 3-0.
3-0. Okay. Next up, we go to Ewood Park. Blackburn Rovers taking on Fulham. This is an interesting one. Blackburn are so hit and miss. They're one of the hardest teams to predict in this division. They did win at Derby, which is a good result, like I say. Not many teams are beating Derby this season. Meanwhile, Fulham, wow, you've got to talk about the result. 3-0 against West Brom. What result that is against a team who's right near you in the table. And Fulham just flexing a little bit. They seem to have found their feet again, and they just don't want to come unstuck again because they have in a few games this season. And Blackburn are the kind of team that if Fulham aren't playing at their best, Blackburn could take advantage. However, I do think Fulham will get the job done here, and I'm going to go for Fulham to win 2-0.
I'm going to go the other way.
Ooh.
2-1 Blackburn.
Okay.
I still think Blackburn striker's the best striker in the league other than Mitrovic. And his goals at the weekend proved that. He's just always there. And if the Fulham turn up against them that they turned up at the Rico, Blackburn will comfortably beat them.
It just depends what Fulham
Yeah,
get.
that's exactly what it is, and I'm banking on a poor Fulham. So I'm going to go Blackburn 2-1.
Interesting. Next up, we go to Bloomfield Road. Blackpool taking on Stoke. Blackpool, wow. Honestly, we really need to talk about them because they are doing so well. And I think people are forgetting they actually had quite a slow start as well. They've really started to pick up the form, and they're riding something really good at the moment. The momentum is unreal. And Stoke, I mean, this isn't going to be an easy game, but Stoke are usually better at home, albeit they didn't win at the weekend despite being 3-0 up against Cardiff. I think Stoke's confidence will be knocked a bit by that 3-3 draw, and Blackpool are riding a pretty good wave here. So Blackpool to win 2-1.
I'm going to go 0-0.
Okay.
You know, when you see two teams that are scoring loads of goals, what does it usually end in? Cancelling each other out and being boring. So I'm going to go 0-0. I don't know either team. I think Blackpool are really good, and I think they'll stay up comfortable. They'll hit a bad spell. You know this. They've got a really small squad. They'll hit a few injuries and they'll hit a bad spell.
Okay.
But Stoke, really, the money they've got and the power they tried to show in the summer, they should be doing a lot better than they are. Where are they now? What, 9th?
Yeah, just outside the playoffs.
At one stage they were flying. They looked really good, but again, they're not that great. I think it'll be boring 0-0.
Okay, next up we go down to the Vitality. AFC Bournemouth, who are just knocking everyone out their way at the moment. They're taking on Preston North End, who did beat Luton, fair play to them. Preston are another team, I'd say, a bit like Blackburn. Just so hard to predict. They win one week, lose the next. And like I said with the Bournemouth-Reading game, this is now a matchup between a consistent team and a not very consistent team. And I'm going to go for the consistent team, which is Bournemouth. So Bournemouth to win this one, 2-0.
I'm going to go 1-1. You know, you look at a team like Preston, right? And they're just so happy to be in the Championship. How many seasons have they been here now?
6?
Nah, longer than that. It's much longer than that. Preston. I'm sure they've been in the Championship for so long. Like, they just don't ever have any aspirations to go up or go down. They just stay mid-table all the time. I'm sure they've been like Championship for a long time now.
Right.
But they're just boring. Like, they're just boring, and they'll go down there and part the bus, and they'll make it difficult for Bournemouth. That's all you can do at Bournemouth at the moment, the way they're playing. Like, I'm dreading it when we go down there. I really am.
No.
But I'm thinking it'll be 1-1. I think people will be surprised. 1-1. I didn't think that Preston were going to get a result at Luton.
No.
And they went there and won comfortably, so...
I think they were at home. Preston were against Luton.
Yeah, you're right,
Yeah.
But
they still beat them.
Yeah, like they hadn't won for ages, and until we come to town and give them the win, and they've won a few since then. I know they lost at Blackpool, but no.
They're a tricky customer.
Yeah,
aren't
you never know what you're going to get with them. They are like a Blackburn. Like they're like the Blackburn in this division as well. Like they're just 1 week they're unbelievable, and the next week they're absolute dross. So just, maybe that's all right. It's 1-1.
Possibly. Next up, Cardiff City versus QPR. Cardiff. Could that be a turning point in that 3-3 at Stoke? They need it to be, because if they lose this one, then it's like it was all in vain. So they now need to get a win to follow that result up. Obviously, QPR, this isn't going to be an easy one. QPR have been doing well this season. Obviously, they'll be frustrated that they let in a last-minute goal against Forest. So they both drew at the weekend. I might go for a draw here. I think Cardiff, they're going to be on a bit of an up now. I don't think they're going to be amazing, but I could just see them start to pick up more results than they were under McCarthy. And QPR, like I say, they drew with Forest. I think they might draw again here. I'm going to go for 1-1.
I'm going to go 2-1 QPR. They're probably one of the best teams I've seen this season. The way they play, the players they've got, they should be way up the top of the table. They should be. Like, their strike force is ridiculous. But yeah, I think Cardiff are crap. I'd love to see them go down, but they probably won't. But I'm going to go 2-1 QPR. 2-1
QPR. The last game is at the Hawthorns. West Bromwich Albion versus Hull City. Now this should be a West Brom win. Hull look really bad, and I felt really bad for their fans because we beat them 1-0 and they just didn't look like scoring at the weekend, to be honest. They were creating a couple of chances, but I don't think they've got the quality to score them, and they're low in confidence. The fans were singing to the manager, "You're getting sacked in the morning." So things aren't right at Hull City, and despite West Brom being in patchy form, I think West Brom should win this one, and I'm going to go for West Brom 4-0.
I want to go 5. So it's the battle of the goals here, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
I watched Hull at the weekend, right, and I said to my missus, right, I said to Soph, and I was like, if this was a good side playing against this Hull team, you'd go through them at ease. Like, their centre backs are awful. Their midfield is non-existent, and we were in reverse at times at the weekend, and we still look comfortable off the ball, on the ball. They have that one striker up front who just wants to win every header.
Tom Eaves.
Yeah, that's all you do is just stand there and let him head the ball. They've got no runners. Honestly, West Brom, they're not a very good team. I think they'll struggle to finish in the playoffs. I think they'll hit really, really bad form.
Really?
Yeah, you look at their stats. Successful passes, they're bottom. Touches in the opposition box, bottom. Honestly, like, their fans are fuming. So they win, draw, win, lose, win, loss. That's like how their form goes, and I think they'll win comfortably against Hull because
it's the kind of fixture West Brom need, a bit like Coventry needed against Hull.
But yeah, and we didn't even get going, we still won 1-0, but West Brom team, they've got better players, more clinical players, they'll score a lot of goals. I think, 5-0.
Well, it's very worrying for the Hull fans. That wraps up today's video, guys. Make sure you get your predictions down below. Make sure you've dropped a like on this one, subscribed if you are new around here, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace out.